Distance can be a major barrier to accessing quality healthcare on time. That's where Angel Flight East comes in. Welcome to Takeoff Talk with Angel Flight East, a nonprofit dedicated to providing free flights for children and adults who need medical treatment far from home. We don't know how many people forego medical care because they don't have accessible transportation, and that's what this podcast is here to change. Join passionate AFE staff members Jess, Ames, and Maddy, Beck as they share real-life stories from people who have used AFE services to get the care they need when they need it.
Hey, frequent flyers, and welcome back with another episode of Takeoff Talk. You're here with me, Maddy.
And me, Jess.
And today we have Pilot Luis with us.
Hey, good morning. How are you? How's everybody doing?
We are good. We're so excited to have you with us. Do you want to tell our listeners a little bit about your pilot background?
Yeah, sure. It's great to be here, and thank you for having me. I've been a pilot since 2013. I started in helicopters. I used to fly. I mean, I haven't done it in a while, but Robinson 22s and 44s. I actually was part owner of one. That was pretty cool, but it gets expensive. So then I got a plane at the same time. So the plane was more practical. I love flying the helicopter, but I got a Mooney. My first one was a Mooney, 1976 Mooney M20J. And then I realized that I had to get some upgrades on it, and I decided to sell it. And then I ended up buying another one, and that's the one I currently have. It's an M20J. It's a 1987, and I've done a bunch of upgrades to it. And I have over 1,000 hours at this point, and my IFR rated. I'm a private pilot, and I'm working on my commercial right now.
Woohoo! Talk about a hobby.
Yeah, you're busy.
Yeah, I know. It's fun.
How did you get
Oh, get out of my head.
Yeah, get out of my head. See, we work too closely together, way too closely.
Go ahead, Jess. You can go ahead.
I was going to say, how did you start flying with Angel Flight East, and how did you hear about us?
So there was a gentleman the first time I heard of Angel Flight was when I was learning to fly in Culpeper, Virginia. And there was a gentleman there. His name was JJ. Actually, he passed away. He was an Angel Flight pilot. He was a captain. And I kind of heard about it very in passing. But then when I got my license, I was like, I would like to, see if I can help, right? And I'll give you a little. I mean, somebody helped me before, in a big way. So I wanted to do something to help other people. And then I heard about it, and that was part of my motivation to get the IFR rating. I mean, of course I wanted to have it, but I also was motivated to do it quickly so I can start flying for you guys.
There you go. We love being goal setters for people.
Yep.
So when you're not flying for Angel Flight, what do you find yourself doing?
When I'm not flying, I go to the gym. I'm a kidney transplant survivor, so we can talk a little bit about that. But I go to the gym. I started going pretty regularly since end of 2016, and it's helped me. I started doing it more for the mind than for the body, but I like the effect that it gets on. It affects. I don't know if you guys have been on vacation ever, but when you're on vacation, yes, you're relaxed. But if you're in a city and walking, and then you're feeling so good, I don't know what it is. And I started to see that over time, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a shot. So I do that. That's a long answer for that. And then the other thing I do is I like to hang out with friends. I have a lot of friends, and hang out with my girlfriend. I like to go on vacations. I use the plane to go on a lot of vacations, and then I work for a company called Lumo, which actually I'm wearing the shirt today. We're a cybersecurity company, and I've been in the market for 5 years, and I run channels for North America. So that's kind of a little bit about me.
So since you're an avid gym goer, do you have a Peloton?
Oh my
I don't.
God.
Oh my God. No, yeah.
Oh, I was so excited. I was like, is it another Peloton enthusiast? Because this could go on for a long time.
Yeah, that's a good question. When I was in the pandemic, and we were doing we found a channel. My girlfriend actually found a channel called Nourish Move Love on YouTube, and then we started using that because my gym was closed. And we started buying weights. So I have a bunch of weights now that I never thought I didn't want to spend the money on them, but now I have a bunch. So that's how we started doing that. But yeah, I've never had a Peloton, but my friends that have it love them.
Oh my
See, if you
goodness.
get one, let me know.
And I went back to the gym actually because I have a friend who's my best friend. Her name is Amanda, and she's like, oh, she and I met at the gym, and she kept, come on, Luis, I need you back, I need you back. And like she would joke that I'm her gym boyfriend, and so she convinced me to go back in September, and I was kind of going through a hard time. I had a person at work that wasn't great, and luckily the person is gone now. But it was kind of bringing me down. So I was like, you should come and hang with people. And I joined the gym, and the next week he was out of the company. So okay,
Perfect
so I stayed.
timing.
Yeah, so I just stayed, and I actually enjoyed engaging with people. Like when you take classes, there's like I usually take classes. I don't do it on my own. So like
Mhm.
so I just hang
That's
out
more
with
my
other
speed.
people. What's that?
I said that's more my speed.
Yeah, that's what I like. I mean, if you go and there's people of all kinds of different levels there, and I made a lot of friends because of that. Like really nice people that I never would have met.
So, can you tell us a little bit about your own kidney transplant journey? I know that we don't do actual like flights to get the kidney, but we do work with a lot of people who are going to get or have received or are going to and things like that.
Yeah, and that's like, I mean, if you ever have anybody in that situation, I'll be happy to talk to them. Like I kind of went through the gamut of all kinds of fun times with that, but like it
Mhm.
started in 2010. My sleeve got swollen, and like I started to, I mean, I was feeling okay. Like I never realized that I had any problems, and then my blood pressure was high, and then they diagnosed that my kidney was going into failure. Nobody in my family has that, so I won the lottery there. Like I was like,
Yeah.
like nobody, a lot of families, if you have kidney or cancer or something, it's very likely that somebody will develop it. So that started, and then I started doing dialysis. And about 2 years into dialysis, I was like, you know what? I always wanted to fly. My dad was in a work as an aviation mechanic for many, many years, and he was into helicopters. So I started to fly while going through dialysis. So I didn't stop. I was traveling. I was still traveling. I had a machine, so I would take it with me. And then, like in 2014, I went to a work dinner. And while we waited for my manager, I'm very thankful that he was late. His name is Tom Hargrave. Thanks, Tom, for being late. And another good friend, Adam, who was his manager, like I was the one who put me in that position. Like maybe a year before, I met this lady called Sue, and when she asked me, "How are you doing?" And I'm always joking. I said, "Other than needing a kidney, I'm doing great. I'm great." And she started asking me all kinds of questions. She said, "Oh, I'll donate to you." She said that right there, and I was like, "Yeah, whatever." In my head, you know how it is. People say, "Oh yeah,
Right,
let's
right.
get together, Jessica. We're gonna go out," and then you never hear back from them, right? You never like, "Oh, we're
We
gonna
are
get."
those people.
Oh,
I freely admit it. We are
oh
those.
God.
I will throw us right under the bus. Jess and I are the ones who I think it's especially being a Philadelphian. I'm always like, yeah, I'll call you back, and you may hear from me next week. But
Yeah.
Oh
so
man.
trust us. We know those people. But please
All right,
continue.
so you know what I mean, yeah. I mean, and you see it in some on text chats, like people, "Oh yeah, let's get together." Let's get. Unless I get involved, they don't get together. Like especially when my classmates from like my like school, my high school class. But so she actually had to go through like she had her BMI was a little high, but she did all the testing. This is like a couple of months later, and she had to lose weight to get there and change her diet a little bit. And we did the like I had like a bunch of infections at the end. I was in the hospital like I don't know, like the operation was supposed to happen December of 2014. I got an infection. Then it was supposed to be January of 2015. It didn't happen because there was some other thing that I needed to build up. Then there was going to be February, and then again in March. So it was canceled 3 times, and she still held
Oh
up.
wow.
She held.
Hmm.
She was like on it. Like anybody else would have been like, maybe that's not a good idea. Maybe I
Right.
shouldn't do it. But yeah, her name is Sue Wenzel, and she's still my friend. I actually use the plane. She lives in Richmond. We worked together at a company called Cisco. That's how I met her. That's when I met her. So, and we keep in touch. She's been to see my parents. My parents have met her, and she's doing fine. She's doing fine. And I used the plane to go see her. I saw her in Richmond maybe a couple of months ago. It's about a 45-minute flight from here, just to give you guys an idea. Driving
Wow.
on 95, as you guys know, is a very
Ugh,
treacherous,
no,
like,
thank you.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
we'll
Yep.
we'll take a pass on that and fly
Yep.
any day. But that's an
Yeah.
amazing story, and the fact that you're still connected is just incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New kidney, new me. Let's start flying. Why not?
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of weird because after I got the transplant, like I'm more observant. Like I'll notice like fashion stuff. Like I mean, I don't know if the female kidney, like it changed me in some way, but it's kind of
See,
weird. Like yeah,
women always rule the world, even our kidneys.
yeah. Like I'm like I'll notice stuff like, oh, your eyes go with that shirt or whatever it is. Like it's stuff that I never noticed before. So I don't know.
Welcome to the good side.
Yeah.
So, so
Yeah.
now of all of your flights that you've done, what is one that stands out to you the most?
I actually flew with Brian Jackson. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if he's
Mhm.
still surviving or not. He had pancreatic cancer, but I flew with him a couple of times, and I enjoyed his company. He was a very nice gentleman, and yeah, that one I like because I flew with him a couple of times, so I got to know him a little bit. And his wife like gave me like this nice card, like a thank you card. I mean, I have it somewhere out, I don't know where it is right now. I think I have a picture of it, but it was very nice that they did that. Like I wasn't expecting that. And then the other one that I did, I can't remember the name of the gentleman, but I had to pick him up in West Virginia and fly to Cleveland. And as we were about to land, we started to get some ice on my wings. So that was a little like, but I told him, don't worry. Like as soon as we got out of the clouds, it's gonna be warmer. And it'll be fine. So it was cool though to land there because you're like in right downtown Cleveland. Like most of I'm used to going to the little airports out there. But this was interesting because I mean, I don't know if you've been to that airport, but it's like down in downtown Cleveland. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is like a few blocks away. The football stadium is a few blocks away. And I can't remember. There's something else. Like I even told my girlfriend, oh, we should go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I've been, but she's like, I don't want to waste my time in a museum. So okay, got it.
We love her already. We're not museum people either.
Okay, yeah, she likes the outdoors. So
We don't like that either, though.
What do we like? We like breweries or wineries. We're pretty simple.
Yeah. Or pools. I mean, we'll do a pool.
Cool. Yeah.
I guess that counts as
So,
outdoors.
do you fly for any other organizations besides Angel Flight East?
Yeah, I used to fly a lot for Pilots and Paws before. I did a bunch of flights, but since I got this job, I mean, I used to at Cisco. Sometimes it was a little easier to get away, but here since I had my responsibility, so like maybe I have a little more responsibility. It's harder to do it. I mean, sometimes I haven't flown as much as I would like to. I think my last flight was at the end of no in April. It was in April actually. I flew a lady to actually to your airport for the gala. I flew a young
Oh,
lady.
you
you
flew
flew
Maya.
Yes, Maya.
Yeah.
She was
Oh,
great.
yeah.
I
She's
actually-
amazing.
So cool.
The one thing that will impress me about that girl is that for the age she had, I thought she was older. Like
Yeah.
just the way she spoke, the way she carried herself. And sometimes these experiences that, I mean, I had my experience, she had her experience. You learn to appreciate life more. Like it changes you, right? And if I can help somebody else, I'll be happy to do it, even if it's like for like an hour flight, which to me that's nothing, right? You're dealing with cancer, you're dealing with some other thing, and whatever I can do. And these days, I try to have as much fun as I can. I try to go to brewers, wineries, stuff like that. That Jessica said, more when I'm not flying, and go on vacation and take it easy. I mean, if there's something to do at home, if it's not like a simple thing, I'd rather hire somebody because time. A lot of people don't realize this until they go through an event. It's a lot more precious than money. This might sound crazy, but it's kind of nuts. It's better to spend the
Yeah.
money, pay somebody to do it than to like this room. I had a guy paint it and they did a bunch of stuff. Like I could have painted it, but it's not beneath me. It's more like I don't want to. I have all the things I want to do. I already did all this stuff like a long time ago. I don't want to. I want to enjoy life.
I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah, we did an interview with Maya for our podcast, and she described cancer as not being that bad. And we're like, Can you repeat that? What did you just say? Cancer wasn't that bad. And she just said it shaped who she was as a person. And yeah, I agree. She's super mature, and you would hear her speak and be like, she's not 16, she's way older. But her story is just
Yeah,
amazing.
it's amazing. Yeah, I feel like, when that happens to you, like I feel like two big things that happen, like in my life where like I was like a young kid. I started traveling to South America for work, like for another company I worked for. I mean, I was like in my 24, 25, right? And yeah, back then I thought I had different ideas of, I saw movies like Clear and Present Danger, and you get, oh my God, but I had such great experiences. So to me, that shaped a big part of my life. Like it changed my mindset, it changed my brain. I don't know how to explain it. And then the other part was the kidney thing, because it made me, I don't know, be thankful for what I had and to enjoy it. Like, I mean, you can take the money or anything like that. You have to be responsible. I'm not advocating to go and like go crazy, but I think that you have to have a good balance. Yeah, and you learn a lot. It's kind of nuts, but you do.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what is one final thought that you would want to leave our listeners with? Like for if it's anybody who's thinking about becoming a pilot, or somebody who already is a pilot but not a pilot with us or any other angel flight organization.
Yeah, I would say like it's a great experience to help other people. I mean, you love, I mean, whoever like set out there, like they love flying to begin with. So you get to do something you love. You're gonna fly anywhere. Instead of going and getting a burger for like $100 or whatever it is, it's better to like just help somebody and get to know somebody. Like instead of flying on your own because your family doesn't want to fly with you. I know a lot of my friends that have planes and their wives don't want to fly with them, or their kids or whatever. At least you get to fly with an interesting. I mean, somebody like Maya, right, or Brian, or a few of the other people that I met over the years that I actually that's really, it's a really good experience, I think. I even like actually I just remember another flight that I flew this family from, I can't remember which airport. I was flying from West Virginia or back this way, I think, yeah, towards Gaithersburg, and there was some thunderstorm, so we had to deviate to it's an airport, another airport, I think Lewisburg. I can't remember the name of it, but it has a Mexican restaurant. So we went in there and I hung out with them, and we had Mexican food and waited for the thunderstorms to pass and got to meet and know them a little bit better. And so yeah, I would say that something always happens that's unexpected, and it's fun. So it's a good thing that you're doing it, something fun and helping other people.
I
Two of the
love
best
that.
things. Yeah. I had no idea about that Mexican story either.
Yeah, there's like, I can't remember the name of it's Lewisburg, or I would have to look, Lewisburg, or it's somewhere in like it's somewhere in West Virginia, like near the border with
It sounds like
Maryland.
it's Lewisburg, yeah. LEW.
Lewisburg, that's
We
it. That's it.
we
That's
will
it.
have to make a field trip there because
Yeah.
we love West Virginia and we love Mexican food,
Oh,
especially margaritas.
they were
Yeah.
not very not. Yeah, have somebody else fly you there. Just make sure
That's what we need.
you're not too intoxicated, because you're not supposed to fly if you're intoxicated. But like, yeah, I mean the other people. But you
Right.
can get to the limit there. Have a Diet Coke, and then just get on the plane. Done. You're back.
Gold. You do not
Yeah.
have to sell us on that idea anymore.
No, I think this is our best one yet.
It was good. It was good. So I recommend it. I would do it. I would do it. Have you gone? Actually, I had a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Have you guys gone on any flights, or do you like to fly, or how do you guys get involved in this?
So I actually had my first angel flight 5, 6 years ago. Last week was my fifth or sixth year like anniversary of going on my first angel flight. Um, to get involved with the organization, I was recruited by our executive director. She was friends with my mom and was like, hey, I know Maddie's personality and I know where Maddie's personality needs to be, and it's right here. So here I am a few years later. I was a senior in college at the time, but now I am in my last year of grad school and,
Oh
living the
wow.
dream. Um, but so that was how I first got started. My first flight with a patient was from Wingsfield down to Norfolk ORF to pick up. Her name was Geraldine. She was a breast cancer patient receiving care at, oh shoot, Cancer Treatment Centers of America in Philadelphia.
Wow. You
And so
remember
I got
all
to,
that? That's
yeah.
pretty crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. So we flew down, picked her up, brought her back up, and you would have thought that she was just going to go see like her kids in another state or something, like not going to cancer treatment. She was the happiest woman you've ever met. I loved her so much. Unfortunately, she lost her battle during COVID, but she's still the bomb. And then we try to sneak on other flights as much as possible.
That's cool.
Whoever wants to take us will go.
That's
Yeah.
good to know. Yeah, that's good to know. So yeah, I'm usually flying by myself most of the time. Like I had a friend, her name is Dawn, but she had moved back to Korea. She's a pilot too, so she would fly a lot. We would fly together a lot. And hey, Dawn, I have an angel flight. You want to come? There was one actually, the one that I flew to ended up in New Mexico, in that Mexican restaurant. She was gonna come with me, but then I thought it was two people, but there were three of them. So I was like, okay, Dawn, you have to stay. Sorry.
Yeah,
Wow.
we have to
I'm glad
leave
that
you behind.
that I picked them up. I think I picked them up here, or I can't remember where. I can't. It's been a while, so
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. I'm actually taking flying lessons, so I hope to be an
Oh,
angel
good.
flight pilot one day, maybe in 2030, but hopefully before then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
what
see if you meet the requirements.
what's
Yeah.
that?
I said, we'll see if she meets the requirements.
Yeah, I don't want to get an IFR rating. That's more studying. I'm trying to do as
Yeah, just get
least studying as I can do.
Look, my plan also was kind of like to do I was just thinking of doing private. Like, I mean, just did private in a helicopter. I never was thinking of IFR unless, I don't know. And then with the plane, I was kind of had in the back of my mind, but then the angel flight was kind of like one of the motivating factors to do it. And then my friends were like, you should do it. Like, you will be able to use your airplane more to travel and to do things. I mean, 5 out of 7 days, you probably will be able to fly in a week, right? The weather is icing today, but tomorrow is great, right? Or whatever it is, right?
Mhm.
So that's been really nice to be able to plan trips. I'm supposed to fly to Orlando to see my dad for Father's Day, like on Friday. Hopefully the weather will be fine, right? But and so yeah, it's fun. So you should do it. You should finish it,
I hope so.
especially if
I
you're
have
close
to.
to the airport. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
I'll,
I used to drive an hour and 15 to an hour and a half to do the helicopter training because the instructor that I was working with, he had his helicopter and he was only like $200 an hour. Here was in this area, it was like 350. So I was like, okay, I'll just drive. And
Mhm.
I caught up with a lot of people on the phone. Like I made the most of the trip. Like I would call my dad, I would call my mom, I would call somebody that I haven't talked to in like a year. I mean, so if it's close, like I mean, now I have here at the airport, so my airplane is 20 minutes away, so it's easy. But
Yeah.
yeah, I was very determined to get it, and it was good. It was a good therapy while I was going through that stuff with the dialysis and the kidney. I even remember because like one of the things that a lot of people don't realize is with your kidneys when you lose them, your brain. I mean, I was on dialysis, but your brain, I don't know. I didn't feel like it was working great. I mean, I can have a conversation and everything, but in the helicopter, you have to coordinate things very smoothly, even more than the plane. The plane, if anybody can fly, but I would not let anybody fly the helicopter with me, especially one of those Robinson helicopters, because it's very squirrely. Like if I give you the controls, we're gonna end up dying in a moment, right? So, but coordinating the controls of the cyclic and the collective, I really didn't get it until I got the kidney transplant, which is kind of crazy. And then I was
Is
like,
it because
oh,
you have part of a woman now?
maybe that's what it is. Sue's very smart, so that could be a to throw it. So that made a big difference too. Like, but to me, I mean, an instructor would tell me, he's my friend now, but he would say, I feel like I'm taking your money because I wasn't making the progress that he thought I should be making. I said, look, this is better than going to see a psychiatrist or like being at home watching like Shawshank Redemption for the 50th time, right? It's always on TV, right? So like, I don't know. That was just me. That helped me.
Well, you're the bomb, and now you are helping so many people. So thank you so much for all that you do for our patients. And we're so excited for you to take on so many more flights.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I'm hoping that my company's doing well. Hopefully, somebody will buy us and I can retire, young, or
There you go.
youngish.
That would be
Youngish.
amazing.
I know.
Yeah,
Then I can do more flights. So then I
we're
can do
here
more
for it.
flights.
Well,
But
thank you so
we'll
much for
see.
sharing your story and your time.
Yeah, thank you, ladies. A great meeting you. And yeah, if you ever want to come on a flight, are you guys both at, I know, Maddie, you're at Wings, right?
Yeah, we both
Or
are.
oh, you are. Okay, all right.
We're
Yeah,
literally
I'm about.
separated by a wall. So
Yeah.
All right.
And
So you're
there's
in
a
the same
door
building
there.
right now?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's funny. It looks like you're in completely different places. I thought you were at your house and you were at your house.
Yeah, no, we
Nope.
try. Our personalities are very different.
Okay.
But we're like the same person.
Yeah, but
Well,
all
we're
right,
gonna ask me a question at the beginning that was kind of, you guys were gonna ask me the same question I felt at the beginning. So
we were.
We have the same brain.
We share the
yeah.
same brain cell at least. There's only so many
Well, I actually
remaining.
have a funny story that's not, but for other pilots out there when they listen to this. So my dad was an I think I told you that my dad was an aviation mechanic, and I'm from Puerto Rico originally. And back in the day, like he and this guy would fly to Florida because they had some business there. Like he had to fix some planes. They had the Piper dealership in Puerto Rico back in the day. And one time, like they were flying, and my dad was in the plane with the guy, and this is back in the late '60s, early '70s. He was a Piper Navajo, and they were flying, and the guy said, "I'm kind of bored. Why don't we go play chess?" Because he knew my dad loves to play chess, and then my dad said, "But who's gonna fly the plane?" "Oh, the autopilot." So they went back to play chess, and my dad was playing with him, and he was like, like the guy beat him, and the plane was flying on it like with nobody in the front. So this is back in the day, like how things were. I mean, my dad told me the story a few months ago. I never heard this story before, but I was like, oh my God. I mean, it's nuts, like how things were back in the day. So
That's
yeah,
terrifying.
Wow. Yeah.
I know. Especially back then with the autopilot, like using BORs, like I don't know. I mean, there was like an area that you really didn't have to talk to anybody, or they were flying BFR. I don't know what they did, but like, that was how, oh, let's play some chess. Let's go in the back. So, yep.
Wow.
Fun times.
Wow.
Yep.
Well,
Fun
on
times.
that note, everybody, we will talk to you later.
All right. Well, it's great meeting you in person, and I'll be happy to fly with you guys anytime. All right.
Sounds
Thank
good.
you.
All right. Thanks. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I love
Wow.
when pilots share their own like medical journeys because I feel like we have no idea how like more tied to the mission they actually are. Like
Yeah, I
they're
know.
not
And
just flying.
those little tidbits about having to land at a different airport and go to a Mexican restaurant. I was like, nobody ever tells us these things. These are like the good stories we want to hear so we can talk about them.
Yes, exactly. Like, oh my gosh. We just are like, yeah, it went great. No, it's fine.
Yeah, and their mission comments are usually just like, great family. And we're like, we want more. Tell
Right.
us about
What
these
else?
things that you've done.
Right. Anything fun happen? Any tacos eaten?
I would like a taco, not from Taco Bell though.
I'll break
I
you one
really
day.
wanted to open up a can of worms on that episode and say, let's take a poll. Who was a better flight coordinator, Maddie or David? And I was like, I'll get in trouble for this, so I'm just not going
Oh my
to.
God, David will bully us for that. Mainly
He will.
because David's the only one who actively talks about our podcast anymore. So we can't
Yeah.
be too mean on it. But then again, I feel like recently we've had a lot of compliments directed at David. So like my ego could have used it, if we're being honest.
Yeah. I wanted to be like, bring back the compliments to us. But we don't work
Yeah.
with the patients and the pilots, so I guess they can't just compliment us on a whim. But if anyone's
They could.
listening, you could email us all the great things that we do, and we need it sometimes.
Yeah. We need the emotional help.
We're sensitive.
Yeah. Well, on that note, we're gonna go eat our feelings because everybody else compliments David.
I'm keeping my
Bye.
comments to myself. Bye.
Bye.
That's it for today's episode of Takeoff Talk with Angel Flight East. If you want to learn more about our services, please visit our website at www.angelflighteast.org or call our office at 215-358-1900. Join us in our mission. If you're a healthcare worker or a patient in need of air travel and flight services, AFE is here for you. Subscribe to the show so you can hear more stories. Join us again next week right here on Takeoff Talk.